So, uh, let's go into it. Have three of my guys are fighting up in Duluth at the Buffalo House here, and we are leaving in like an hour. Man, my lips are all busted up still from Thursday. Sparring on Thursday with the guys. It was awesome. Alrighty, so to continue with my well, this is my third day, so a 3 day streak of reading the Bible. God is telling me to do this. I don't like reading the Bible. I haven't read the Bible in 25 years. Yes. Because I struggle with it. The old English drives me nuts. I am a statistician by trade, and I overanalyze everything. And the way it's written, um, yeah, it causes resistance. I picture it like ohms of resistance. Oh my god, maybe I should put on some chapstick or something. Yeah. You guys, I don't think it shows up on camera, but I got a bruise. I got a bruise on the side of my face, like my cheekbone hurts. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Those punks. Perfect. Alrighty. So we are gonna start with the wickedness of mankind. I never did research what these individual titles mean. I don't know if title is the appropriate word to use. Like, it looks like a title. Is it a title for a tiny little section? A title for her paragraph? Something seems odd there. But we're going to go with it. Yep. So, okay. I think I already said it. I'm going to say it again. I am deliberately doing this on camera because God is making fun of me for not doing it. I don't like reading the Bible. It's uncomfortable for me. I am nervous to do it, or I get nervous even today. It took me like 10 minutes to talk myself into this. Yeah. So on a higher level, looking downward, I'm assuming, I'm guessing the value that yeah, I should really get. I'm at the store. I should probably walk inside and get some chapstick. Awesome. I'm assuming the value of me doing this is because I have the guts to do it on camera, and I don't like doing it. So maybe my struggle might inspire others to struggle through it if they struggle through it. Yep. Just like boxing, you want to convince people to jump in the ring. Well, it's as a coach, it's in my best interest to jump in the ring. Let people watch me get my ass kicked, or vice versa. Whatever. Lead the charge is where I'm going with that. Awesome. Okay, so and I attended. I'm getting this awesome direct support from YouTube, and I attended another meeting yesterday, and they made all these awesome recommendations on what to do. I forgot to research any of that before starting this live. We're gonna do it anyway. Awesome. All right, we are starting with the wickedness of mankind. Which, holy cow! I could be like an '80s rock band. What a dramatic title for a section. Perfect. Let me switch hands here. We're on page 6. Yep. The wickedness of mankind. When mankind had spread all over the world and the girls were being born, some of the heavenly beings that saw these girls were beautiful. So they took ones they liked and, oh man, that's crazy. Then the Lord said, I will not allow people to live forever. They are mortal. From now on, they will live no longer than 120 years. Crazy. I don't remember it saying that. Deviation right off the bat, but that also supports my previous statement that the Bible is a narrative on top of like scientific observations or factual observations, easy to measure kind of observations, right? Which using linear regression, you can reverse engineer a lot of this stuff, which is the foundation of the church. Reverse engineer a lot of this stuff to like factual lessons. You don't know what the future holds. Well, this is the a collection of human knowledge. So reverse engineer these lessons, and you can take a pretty good guess on how things are going to work out, because the reality of life is probabilistic. God, my lips are just totally busted up. They didn't look this bad yesterday from sparring on Thursday. Do I enjoy living in my car? Yeah, it's not bad. It's a pretty sweet car. Yeah. It's just, this is where it's comfortable for me. Yeah. Yeah, not everybody in my circle is cool with my Christian journey. So when I'm in my car, nobody bothers me. And it's super convenient for me to do, because I'm forcing myself to do this every day. And it's the little me on my shoulder is talking me out of it every single day. And then the Jesus in my mind is saying, do it anyway. Suck it up, soldier. Awesome. Oh, crap, you guys started talking, and then I lost my spot. Well, whatever. I'm going to read a little bit, and then I'll speak to the comments. In those days, and even later, there were giants on earth who were descendants of human women and heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. When the Lord saw how wicked everyone on earth was, and how evil their thoughts were all the time, he was sorry that he had ever made them and put them on earth. Oh, that's dark. He was so filled with regret that he said, I will wipe out these people I have created, and also the animals and the birds, because I am sorry that I had made any of them. But the Lord was pleased with Noah. God bless Noah. This is the story of, next chapter title, Noah. I still don't think these are chapters. I don't know what the term is for these titles that are above the paragraphs. I'm sure there's something fancy to call it. Noah. This is the story of Noah. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Noah had no faults and was the only good man of his time. He lived in fellowship with God, but everyone else was evil in God's sight, and violence had spread everywhere. Sounds like a bummer of a place, eh? God looked at the world and he saw it was evil, for the people were all living evil lives. God said to Noah, I have decided to put an end to all of mankind. Bam! I will destroy them completely, because the world is full of their violent deeds. Build a boat for yourself out of good timber. Make rooms in it and cover it with tar inside and out. Make it 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Make a roof for the boat and leave a space 18 inches between the roof and the sides. Build it with 3 decks and put a door in the side. Holy crap, that's like a detailed description. I don't remember that at all. I am going to send a flood on the earth to destroy every living being. Everything on earth will die. But I will make a covenant with you. Go into the boat with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take into the boat with you a male and female of every kind of animal and every kind of bird, in order to keep... One moment and then I'll respond to the comments. Keep them alive. Take along all kinds of food for you and them. Noah did everything that God commanded. The next one, the flood. All right, I'm going to read the comments and then we're going to read the flood. Spoiler alert, I hear it's wet. Do you enjoy living? I already answered that one. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of words there. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Empirical data. Actually, empirical data is horribly flawed. Ironically, you can use empirical data to prove empirical data wrong. And it's just in the structure of mathematics. Science itself is a religion. Why? Because humans, religion is a default of our perception. It's a default output of seeing the world through our minds, because our minds are built on experience, kind of like an operating system in a computer. The different operating systems display information differently based on its architecture. Human brains work very similar. Yep, yep. Live comfy best you can. Praise God. Agreed. Awesome. Thank you. Do you like McDonald's? Because I'm McLovin the stream. Awesome. Purple potato. Holy cow, you're killing it this morning. Purple potato is a sweet name. Yeah, yeah. This is the book of Jubilee. I don't really know what the differences of the book are. This is today's English version. Yeah. Oh, hey, good story. So, I couldn't find a paper Bible. You know, like God's been telling me to read this on camera for a while. And everything I do is digital, so I just use my phone. I didn't have a paper copy. I I was actually going to have to buy one. I asked my pastor, Pastor Tyler at River of Life Church in St. Joseph, Minnesota, if he had a Bible. He said, yes, of course, take that one. And then I forgot it at church. So I pulled this Bible off of my brother's bookshelf. And it turns out it's like, it's the Bible from when I was growing up. It's basically the only Bible I have any like actual history with or attachment to it. And it was just a random book that I grabbed off the shelf. I had no idea that I was grabbing this super significant book. And it's got like highlighting marks from my mom, and there's like some dumb stuff I did in here as a disgruntled 10-year-old. You know, super interesting. Divinely planned, almost certainly. You know, I don't even know what the Book of Jubilee is. I do know what Jubilee is from the X-Men. Awesome. Alrighty, the flood. The Lord said to Noah, go into the boat with your whole family. I have found that you are the only one in the world who does what's right. Take with you I'm reading too fast. I'm blurring the words. Take with you 7 pairs of each kind of ritually clean animal. I don't remember that. But 1 pair of each kind of unclean animal. Take also 7 pairs of each kind of bird. Do this so that every kind of animal and bird will be kept alive to reproduce again on the earth. 7 days from now, I am going to send rain that will fall for 40 days and nights in order to destroy all living beings that I have made. And Noah did everything the Lord commanded. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came on earth. He and his wife and his sons and their wives went into the boat to escape the flood. A male and female of every kind of animal and bird, whether ritually clean or unclean, went into the boat with Noah as God had commanded. 7 days later, the flood came. You know, there's some Christian song out there that I don't remember who sings it, but it's I'll build a boat. Oh crap, I can't remember. So it's about Noah. It's about building the boat, the summation, the moral, my higher level understanding of whatever. The song is talking about doing what God's asking you to do before there's any visual, physical evidence of why you should be doing it. Faith, you know, that has been cycling in my mind for this entire year, maybe even longer, maybe 2 years. That sucks. That is hard to do. I do not like doing it. I'm a scientist. I'm a statistician. I'm a mathematician by trade. I do not like faith or, you know, taking that leap of faith. And it's hard. It's hard to do. It's uncomfortable to do. I quantify everything. Like my decisions in my mind are all statistically backed. Faith is not that. Faith is the opposite of that. And I struggle with it. It's like boxing. Like I'm getting into the ring and I believe, I have faith I'm going to win regardless of what the evidence says. You know, you give me Goliath, I'll run right for him, right? Faith you're going to win, not proof you're going to win. And and this is what Noah is. It's faith that building this boat has a purpose. You don't see the purpose. There's no evidence of that purpose, but you do it anyway. And they're all going to laugh at you. Realistic probability. Do it anyway. Super hard, super uncomfortable. It's just like boxing. You might get your ass kicked. Do it anyway. Same thing I tell them my boxing students. All right, I'm going to read the next one. Kind WWVM. Kind loving God decided to drown everyone. Yeah, that's someone I want to worship. Yeah, yeah, why not? So actually, and that speaks to my understanding too. I'm a scientist that's drank the Kool-Aid for Christianity. So I'm coming from this pessimistic, I forget what the word is, unbelieving side over to the believing side. And I used to say the same thing too. Now I realize it's structure. It's structure. In statistics, you have control charts, right? So you have upper control, well, whatever. You have a continuous process control chart, right? So it has continuous data moving up and down. You have the upper limit, you have the lower control limit. Uh, my current perception of religion is on top of that. Like the negative, the bad stuff is built into the system because the bad stuff is how you measure the good stuff. If your life was easy all the time, even the slightest inconvenience would seem like the end of the world, right? You need rainy days to appreciate the sunny days. It doesn't work any other way. So that's my current understanding to this. I forgot what you said. Destroy everybody point. Yep. Negativity is part of the system. Suck it up. That's the way it works. Bad things are what make good things. You study so you can pass the test. Passing the test is good. Studying sucks. They go together. The yin and the yang, baby. Yep. And this is the thought journey that I went through too. Fighting it. And going deep, it's the dualism of human psychology, the dualism of human perception. We perceive stuff in two factors, sun, moon, light, dark, up, down. Well, reality is probabilistic. Reality is it's both a particle and the wave at the same time, right? Like it's just impossible to. That was ironic. It's impossible to think like that. Well, no, impossible is dualistic. Probabilistic would mean it's both possible and impossible. But how the heck do you communicate that? Our brains don't think like that. Yep. So life is hard and easy. God is good and causes problems. Like they're the same. They go together. The problems are what make the good thing. It's you got to look at it from a higher level down. You got to look at it holistically, not singularity. Like in chess, if you only see one move out, you're gonna get your ass kicked. You got to see multiple moves out. You got to see how everything connects. Super hard to do, and knowing better doesn't really change anything. It's hard regardless. No, you're not, because if you were, well, I'm looking at my phone, so I can only see the most recent few comments. I read a lot of these. I see a lot of these out of context. Jesus is a murderer. We're all murderers. You eat meat. You eat plants. Yep. Life is born and life dies. Welcome, circle of life, baby. That speaks to my current perception, where everything is part of the design. Everything, good, bad, everything. Right? If your life was always easy, you'd be miserable. Ironically, perfectly easy equals sadness because there's no challenge. You don't climb Mount Everest to spend 10 minutes on top, right? Like that has very little value. You spend it because it's so freaking hard to get up there. I didn't swear there. just to check. The journey is the destination. It's not the top. Like the challenge, the hard parts are the fun parts. Boxing is lame when you fight little kids, when you fight people that are easier than you, right, or less experienced than you. The hard fights are the fun ones. That's my rebuttal to what you're saying there. Easy sucks. Don't aim for easy. Find the biggest guy in the room, run right for him. That is the fun part. Yeah. My Jesus is a boxing coach, and he's telling me to do the same thing. Like stop trying to make it easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Easy is lame. Easy is not satisfying. Faith is no, you're not, because I'm reading these out of context. I don't even know what you're talking about. No, you're not, because if you were, you would be talking this nonsense and spewing stuff from the Bible. I don't know what you mean. Oh, hey, let me read on. Maybe you you find a way to come across more intellectually. What did you study in college? Mathematics. I'm a mathematician. I'm a statistician. Tell me how many courses did you take in mathematics? Tell me which ones you took. Why would I tell you that? Why would I care? Why would I exhaust the energy to prove anything to you? Because similar to this perception thing that I described, well, maybe I described it in this one or I described it in the previous one, but reality is perception, right? What you're asking me to do for you is like spoon feeding you applesauce. Like this is something you just got to learn on your own. Same way that I did. Like I was an advocate, an avid, materialistic, scientific kind of guy. Like I was can't say anti-religion, but I wasn't faithful. I was a program manager at the VA, and I was able to sit down and drink a cup of coffee with like 30 some odd thousand veterans. And these conversations with veterans are what kind of inspired me to drink the Christian Kool-Aid. It's what's inspired me to go this route, or it planted that mustard seed, which led to everything else. I was baptized 2 years ago. Yep. Because the veterans knew what they were talking about. They knew more than I did. And oh, hey, that which ties back into the Bible. This Bible knows more than I do, and I've matured to the point where I accept the fact that I don't know everything. Yep. Like I said, you know nothing about statistics or mathematics or logic or anything else, but stupid blind faith. Huh? That was huh? I think maybe you answered your own, or you responded to your own statement there. Because you're claiming a claim of confidence without through the tiny observations, like testing a glass of water out of the ocean and then concluding population-wide, ocean-wide conclusions. It's not very smart. That's not smart in biblical terms, and it's also not smart or not experienced. I feel bad for saying not smart. God bless you. It's not experienced because you want a big sample set. You want to test a bunch of water before you make a ocean-wide conclusion. Yep. That's how reality works. You want to get in the ring a bunch of times before you assume that you're the greatest boxer in the world. Everybody walks into the gym thinking they're awesome. Turns out they're not. You got to eat some punches, myself included. You got to get your ass kicked before you realize, hey, I'm not the coolest person ever. Yeah. Oh, and going back to it, I was a hardcore scientist, and I could come up with a billion different ways to put down religion. And now I've flipped camps on that, and I can come up with a billion ways to put down science. Once you know where the flaws are, it's super easy. What I'm describing, I believe empathetically, is why Einstein went to church. I recommend you do too. Read Hebrews 11:1. I'm into angel numbers, and you saying that I find significant. I don't know what that is yet though. Or if I'm going to read this whole thing, so if it's in here, we're going to hit it here at some point. Is no blind though? Is not blind though. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm assuming that we're gonna come to it. The excuse me. The end of the flood. God had not forgotten Noah and all the animals with him in the boat. He caused a wind to blow, and the water started going down. The outlets of the water beneath the earth and the floodgates of the sky were closed. The rain stopped, and the water gradually went down for 150 days. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the boat came to a rest on a mountain in the Ararat range. I struggle with all these words. Or the names. The water kept going down. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains appeared. After 40 days, Noah opened up a window and sent out a raven. It did not come back, but it kept flying around until the water was completely gone. Meanwhile, Noah sent out a dove to see if the water had gone down. But since the water still covered all of the land, the dove did not find a place to light. What? The dove did not find a place to light. My frustration's picking up a little bit. This is why I haven't read the Bible in 25 years. This is the first time I'm doing this since I was 17. I was locked up as a juvenile delinquent in solitary confinement the last time I read the Bible. It drives me nuts to read the Bible. Um, which is why God's pushing me into doing it. Yeah, yeah, just like a fight. Like most people come up with excuses not to fight. I've come up with 25 years worth of excuses not to read the Bible, and this is me doing it anyway. Yep. When Noah was 601 years old on the first day of the first month, the water was gone. Noah removed the covering of the boat, looked around, and saw that the ground was getting dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Oh, there's like a little picture. Awesome. The water had gone down. God said to Noah, "Go out of your boat with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take all of the birds and animals out with you, so that they may reproduce and spread over all of the earth." So Noah went out of the boat with his wife and his sons and their wives. All of the animals and birds went out of the boat into groups of their own kind. Groups of their own kind. Oh, is that like speaking to the obvious? Like lions hang out together, monkeys hang out together? Yep. Noah offers a sacrifice. Oh my God! You know this sacrifice thing? There's a deviation there. Like I believe that's both culturally significant and a sign of how reality works. Like sacrifice is required. Yeah, yeah. It could be speaking to like the mechanics of how reality works. Or that's my current interpretation. Everything in the Bible is speaking to mechanics, right? Like it's not yeah, it's not as cheesy as I originally perceived it. Now it's mechanics. It's describing how the engine runs, not what the engine produces, but why it works the way it works. Yep. Um, Noah offers a sacrifice. Noah built an altar to the Lord. He took one of each kind of ritually clean animal and bird and burnt them whole as a sacrifice on the altar. I still kind of think it's weird, but I used to think this was that kind of stuff used to bother me. Still kind of bothers me, but less so as my understanding's growing. The order of the sacrifice pleased the Lord. Like, how weird is that? And he said to himself, "Never again will I put the earth under a curse because of what man does. I know that from the time he is young, his thoughts are evil." I think that speaks to my juvenile delinquent. There you go. I had a tough childhood. Yeah. I lost it. "Never again will I put the earth under a curse because of what man does. I know that from the time he is young, his thoughts are evil. Never again will I destroy all living beings as I have done this time." Rainbow. "As long as the world exists, there will be a time for planting and a time for harvest. There will always be cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night." Oh my God. Hey, that was ironic by itself. That's speaking to the dualistic perceptions that that I was describing like 2 minutes before I read this in the Bible. What's the odds of that? And it's a confirmation of what I was talking about. Like you communicate in the dualistic duality of left, right, up, down, night, day, hot, cold. That's how we communicate. That is not how the universe works. It's just impossible to communicate how the universe works because the universe is probabilistic and science backs that up with the double slit experiment. Life, yeah, perception is reality. You can think it into existence. The act of observation is significant. God's covenant with Noah. We're coming up on it. I'm going to finish this one and then we're done. Yeah. God, there again, I don't want to, like, I'm pushing myself to this. This is just like, boxing. This is like me running in the morning. I don't like running. I force myself to do it. I have a hard time reading the Bible. I'm forcing myself to do it. God's covenant with Noah. God blessed Noah and his sons and said, "Have many children so that your descendants will live all over the earth. All the animals, birds, and fish will live in fear of you." Oh, that's weird. They are all placed under your power. Now you can eat them, as well as green plants. I give them all to you for food. The one thing you must not eat is meat with blood still in it. I forbid this because the life is in the blood. Oh, I didn't know it said that directly in the Bible. Or, I didn't know. There's a lot of stuff in here that's called out specifically. And, oh, hey, speaking to that punk that was poking holes earlier, I used to thought that was like a man-made interpretation and not so direct. A lot of this stuff is super direct and I just didn't catch it. Aligning with my point, frames of reference. Like, you don't know that you don't know until you know. I lost it. The one thing you must not eat is meat with blood still in it. I forbid this because life is in the blood. If anyone takes human life, he will be punished. I will punish with death any animal that takes a human life. Man was made like God, so whoever murders man will himself be killed by his fellow man. That's true that. Glove don't fit, must quit. You must have many children so that your descendants will live all over earth. God said to Noah and his sons, I am now making my covenant with you and with your descendants and with all living beings, all birds and all animals, everything that came out of the boat with you. With these words I make my covenant with you. I promise that I promise that never again will all living beings be destroyed by a flood. Never again will flood destroy the earth. A sign of everlasting covenant which I am making with you and all living beings. I am putting my bow in the clouds. Rainbow. It will be the sign of my covenant with the world. Whenever I cover the sky with clouds, the rainbows appear. I will remember my promise to you and all the animals that a flood will never again destroy all living beings. When the rainbows appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between me and all living beings on earth. That is a sign of the promise which I am making to all living beings. Holy crap, I just got goosebumps. So, I got my ass kicked on the home front this last year. Like, super, like, laughably kind of bad, right? And somewhere along the way, there was a rainbow at a significant moment out of nowhere, like across the road in the mist. Like, from a statistical perspective, it was highly improbable that I would see the rainbow at that time. It was just a rainbow. But whatever, it felt like it meant something. And I interpret it as this is a sign God's telling me, like, the damage is done. Now we can start rebuilding. And this was last summer. And it's actually kind of worked out just like that. Yeah, I'm still getting my ass kicked, but less so than originally. And there's awesome things that are happening beyond that. Yeah. Because everything's open to interpretation. And the Bible even speaks about that. All pastors speak about that too. Like, you have to, it's a whisper. Yeah. Also, I'm going to read the comments and then I'm done. But faith is a gift from God. Yeah, well, I have a hard time with it, right? I'm a statistician that's becoming a hardcore Christian, right? And it's not easy for me. Like, I'm like a judge or maybe a lawyer in this context, like a lawyer. I can make a rock solid case for both sides. Now what? Now what? you know? Um, yeah. Well, now God's just saying, you know, this side or nothing. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. You flipped. What caused you to flip? The veterans in the VA. I was able to sit down and drink a cup. I implemented the most successful federal health information exchange in the United States. I've won a bunch of awards. I presented. The White House has given me awards. I've given an international presentation with Harvard doctors. Um, I had a ton of success in the VA, in the Veterans Administration. But the most significant thing out of that moment was sitting down and talking with all these veterans, a bunch of old guys, a bunch of people that I respect, people that I trust absolutely, told me they believed in God. They told me I should start believing in God, and I followed them because, actually, very similar to listening to a pastor. I had the impression they knew. I was confident they knew and they weren't lying to me. Or not lying, but I was confident they wanted what was best for me. And these great people that I trusted absolutely were telling me to do it. So I started doing it. And it turns out they were right. Yep, yep, yep. But, oh, hey, maybe I contradicted my point on faith, but that was faith. Like, I had faith that these nice old guys at the VA were leading me in the right direction. And it turns out they were. Yeah, yeah. Same with some of the pastors that I've met along the way. It wasn't because I believed. It wasn't because I, yeah, I resisted the whole way. It's just I trusted the people. I trusted the people that they were pointing me in. They were pointing me in the. They were trying to do for me what they thought was best, and I absolutely believe that, and that's what led to my current perception, understanding, and I agree. Like they were totally right. Like that, going this route has worked out. I recommend you do the same thing. Yeah, yeah. Ironically, it's a leap of faith. I had faith in the people before I had faith in the Bible. And yeah, yeah. Turns out they were right. But faith is a gift from God. Oh God, it's a gift that keeps kicking my ass. It's super hard to do. Kind of like Noah building the boat while everybody makes fun of him. There's like no reason to be doing it other than that whisper in his mind. You know, super hard to do. Me doing this, people are making will make fun of me, right? And I'm only doing it because of that whisper in my mind telling me I should be doing it. Yep. What are the chances of being God? What are the chances of being God as opposed to being a microscopic bacteria? Uh, I've pondered a lot of that. Well, how you wrote that is kind of weird, but as a skeptic, that's the word I was looking for. As a former skeptic, I've come up with an infinite amount of narratives to put any of this down. And I can do the same thing for religion. I can come up with a billion narratives to put science down and whatnot. And what do you do with that? What do you do if both sides are provable just by crafting the narrative, right? Well, once you realize that you're no longer the level of lawyer, you're up to the level of judge. You're not worried about what the output is. You're just watching the input. You're making sure that the trial is fair. And that's where I'm at. I'm past plaintiff and defendant. I'm past lawyers, and I'm into the judge's spot. Like I'm looking at the process and how it works, and that's where I'm at. I highly recommend you eventually get to that point too. 99% of the human population is at the plaintiff and the defendant part. They take it personally. Yeah, they think personally. They perceive the world personally. Get beyond that. That is like the lowest level. That I put. One of the metaphors I use is like looking at your cell phone and walking out into traffic. If you're paying attention to what's right in front of you, you're not paying attention to what's out there. And what I've learned is there's a lot of stuff out there. Yep, yep, yep. And nobody can spoon feed you. Like you have to earn this yourself. Like people can't. Me saying this won't tell you. Like, yeah, yeah. But I'm thinking as I talk here, I bet you. At best, it's probably going to play out like the veterans played out for me. They told me to do this, and I did it just because I trusted them. I didn't trust the Bible at the time. I trusted the person that was telling me that I should be trusting the Bible. You know, and there was like a chronological dependency along that. It took a while for me to start trusting the Bible. I trusted the person first. Yep. God called him. What are the chances? I already pulled. You know, and I like to think about that too. Our scientific, our material. Let me read this one just because it's fun. What are the chances of being God as opposed to being a microscopic bacteria? And actually, that speaks to the frame of reference thing, which on a high holistic level speaks to what I'm talking about here. Why do we assume that human beings have consciousness and microscopic bacteria do not? Why do we assume that humans have consciousness but grass out in your front yard does not? That is a measurement bias. Just because we can't measure it, or just because we can't measure it, doesn't mean it's not real. Everything that we believe in materialistic science is an output of our measurement system. Here's the kicker: our measurement systems suck. Proof: every year we come up with new measurement systems. Every year we invent new telescopes. Every year we see new scientific information about the universe. Kicker: it was there the entire time. Like, we have never not known that we know, right? Or that we don't know. Yeah. Like, every year that we learn something new is proof that we didn't know it the year before. What's that mean? That means right now, whatever we're confident about, whatever rock, materialistic science is standing on is flawed, because every year we prove that wrong. We prove that materialistic science wrong. Every year we learn it, we build a new telescope, we see more stuff. That means the stuff that we are seeing is it's all limited. Yeah, it's chronologically dependent. Like, next year you are going to see more stuff. Next year we're going to know more stuff than we know this year, right? So then fast forward your mind out like 100 years, and everything we think is right today is wrong 100 years from now. It's like, I'm a visual thinker, and I'm picturing this like taking a pawn and moving it like on a chessboard, moving it up. Super interesting. You Christians left me in the dark. Nora Nicole. You Christians left me in the dark. You judged me. You hurt me. You never validated anything. I said you left me to suffer. You lied to me. You hurt me. I'm done. I don't know what you're talking about there, but I'm hearing some pain. Empathetically hearing some pain. And Jesus dying on the cross said, God, you had forsaken me. And I think about that quite a bit too. And that I think that speaks to the human side, right? Because we all want it easy. The kicker is, it's not easy. It's tough. It's tough, but it's tough by design. Staying in kindergarten all your life would suck, but it would be easy. Cherish Christian life. Oh, I just now actually read your whole name. Awesome. Maybe Christians, but not God. Yeah, I'm reading that out of context. Cursed is the man who trusts another man. Well, I'm a Christian now because I trusted the veterans. I feel good about that. Balls try Bandit. I don't know what that is. The Holy Spirit guides you in your understanding of the Bible. Yeah. And I used to think, from the skeptical side, I used to think that was all cheesy, but now I understand. And it's the contextual information, right? You can tell a kindergartner about nuclear physics, but it doesn't mean anything. Like, you can give them the answers, it doesn't mean anything until you get the context behind all of it, right? Yeah. Which is why cheating on math tests doesn't work. Like, you actually have to learn the stuff for yourself. And boxing's the same way. I can tell all of my students that put their hands up, nobody puts their hands up. Like, you have to eat some punches to realize, oh, that's what the coach was talking about. Nora Nicole, I've tried living in your garden. It felt me every time I'm done with it. Your sentence structure is throwing me off a little bit. I've tried living in your garden. It felt me every time I'm done with it. Yeah. And that speaks to, that's probably a positivity bias in the cognitive bias frameworks. But we skew towards positive. We skew towards easy. path of least resistance. Well, that's an illusion. That's a fallacy. There's like nothing anywhere that I know of that says that should be the expectation. Even the Bible is saying it's going to be hard. Yep. As far as I know, all religions on all cultures everywhere on planet Earth has embraced the fact that it's going to be hard. I don't know of anything that's promising you do this and your life will be perfect tomorrow. Like they're all saying it's going to struggle. And then the summation of all that, I'm picturing like it's not a categorical imperative, but that's just how I'm picturing it. Like the summation of all that. Oh, there's a guy that just drove by. That was looking at me. Um, Wow, whatever. There's got to be a reason that all cultures on planet Earth at all points in time have described what I'm describing now from the Bible. Not a coincidence. You won't have the Holy Spirit until you are born again. 2 years ago, I was baptized, and even then, it took me a while. Like I could feel it was a significant moment, but it took me a while to realize why. Oh, hey, that's the contextual information. You won't have the Holy Spirit until you're born again. You will learn that process in the New Testament. Yeah, that has been my journey. Yeah, yeah. I fought the law and the law won. Like, basically, everything is working out how people told me it was going to work out. I just didn't believe them. There's no way this stuff is real. Holy crap, it's real. Didn't see it coming. You will no longer try to understand. You will no longer try to understand the Bible with your mind, but with your whole heart. Yeah, yeah. How the heck do you quantify that? You don't. That'd be quantifying stuff like mathematically proving stuff is dependent on all these flawed mathematical processes. But they still kind of work. So, yeah, interesting. It's hard to communicate to people. Like people say, "Hey, it works. It's right," and that's a flaw, not a flaw. That's the design of our perceptions, the dualism, the left, right, up, down, or whatever. That's just how our brains work. Yep, yep. It's not how reality works. Reality is probabilistic, and quantum physics backs that up also. Like the better our science gets, the more we realize reality is probabilistic, and this Bible stuff is totally how it works. Um, Never falsely believe that you are as smart as God. True that. And actually, well, most people do. That's where well, actually, I was going to say that's where the skeptical perception comes from, but that's not true because skeptics don't believe in God, so that's not a competition with God. And I believe the Bible speaks to there's a term for what you're talking about there, where you believe in God but you fight God or you compete with God. Like it's beyond unbelief. It's beyond belief. It's something different. It's like a competition with God. And I think that's what you're speaking to there. I believe I know there's a term for it, but I don't know what it is. Um, Want to say this. I forgive you guys for hurting me and I am walking away permanently. Alrighty. Well, God bless you. Stay safe. Uh, Joke, call, sprank. Can I ask you a question? You already asked me a question, so boom, boom. Alex, do you believe that if you ask God for what you want, you also pray to Him about it, that you will get it guaranteed? Well, that's what the Bible says. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. When do you get it? The Bible doesn't really call that out, and that's something I struggle with also. Like, what good is it in heaven when I'm dead? And that is a journey all by itself. I highly recommend if you're not at that spot. This is a spot I've just recently gotten to, where this moment here on Earth is not the most important thing. And everybody says that, and actually it sounds cheesy. It sounds cheesy in my ears now as it's coming out of my mouth. Uh, but it's like a spectrum thing. Like if you only focus on visible light and forget about every other part of the electromagnetic spectrum, you suck. It's kind of like old telescopes. Oh, hey, that goes back to my telescope point. If you only build your telescopes to see visible light, you are going to have a very small view of the universe. But reality, we know there's stuff out there that we can't see with our eyeballs. Other tools are required. Yeah, yeah. I forgot why I started talking about that, but that's kind of where I'm at. Um, oh yeah, yeah. So the chronological thing. So if you measure everything off of just this life, just this time period that you're alive in this body, that's like prioritizing just the visible light in the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Just because it's easy to see doesn't mean it's all that there is, right? And that's an ironic leap of faith. Like I know there's stuff my eyeballs can't see. Now what? I know that I've come to know that this moment here on earth is not all that there is. Like it's a spectrum thing. Yep. Don't assume what you can see is all that there is. There's like no evidence supporting that, but it's intuitive. It's kind of like the path of least resistance. We believe what we can see is all there is to be seen because it's easy and we're lazy. We skew towards the path of least resistance. I have learned there's stuff. This moment in time, this life is a small spectrum. It's the visible light out of the electromagnetic spectrum. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there, you just can't see it, and that's super uncomfortable. And it took me a long time to. I'm still not comfortable with it, but it's. Ironically, it's logic. The scientific method supports what I'm describing. God bless. I'm going to end this here in a second. It says, if it's within His will, it's God's plans, not ours. Is the Bible true and the Word of God? Uh, is the Bible true and the Word of God? That's probably a deep one. Like, yeah, okay. The Bible says it is. Oh, hey, that's like um, maybe a paradox? Not a paradox. There's a term for that. It starts with a P. Wait, so wait, so do you know heaven exists? Have you been there before? No, but there's a bunch of evidence saying that it does. Like people are saying it does. Yeah, and there again, what you can see right in front of you, though, what you can measure is not all that exists. Yeah, like science also supports that. Yeah, so this is like I want to say an IQ thing, but it's not an IQ thing. For me, it's been an experience thing. Like you gotta step up above that. It's like playing chess. If you only think one move out, everything seems pretty obvious. But once you can see 50 moves out, everything gets probabilistic because you have no idea which path the next 49 moves are going to take, right? So then you just got to let go of that certainty. Right now, you're describing a certainty as if you can see all of these steps, but no, it's really speaking to your perception. Like, come up a few notches and look down, and oh well, entropy in science, everything is connected. Entropy is like impossibly hard for our brains to contemplate, but even entropy is elementary because we have Einstein, we have quantum entanglement, we have stuff that are entangled, we have stuff that are significantly moving these variables around that do not follow entropy, they're beyond entropy. Like even entropy is simple, too simple. Yeah, think of how many scientists describe entropy. Yeah, it's because it's easy. It's easy to think about. Yeah, yeah. The real world is way more complex than entropy. All systems of order move towards disorder, baby. Second law of thermodynamics. We are in the midst a small moment in an infinite time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where I'm at. Like infinity is super hard to think about. Now that I know that we're all dumb by default, like we all skew towards easy stuff. Yeah, infinity sucks to think about. Like it hurts my brain to think about, and I know by default I'm trying to find the easy path, so I skew away from infinity. It's got nothing to do with right or wrong, correct or whatnot. I know just with my way, the way our human brains work, I'm going to take the easy path, and infinity is hard to think about. The Bible speaks to infinity. Yeah, yeah. Science is actually a lesser. It's a lesser thought that I'm now thinking. Previously, as a scientist, that's what I'm now thinking. Pride causes you to compete with God, but once you realize us trying to understand God is like a cricket trying to build a skyscraper. I like that visual. Pride causes you to compete with God, but once you realize us trying to understand God is like a cricket. Well, you lost me with the cricket part, but yeah, I wasn't directly trying to compete with God, but I did. I'm a statistician. Like, I'm smart enough to know that I'm dumb, which is a sign of intelligence, right? Uh, but for the longest time, during the skeptical point in my life, I thought I could build perfect systems. And now that I know what the problem looks like, I see just about everybody else doing the same kind of thing, assuming that I can build plans that are going to work regardless, assuming that I can build a bunker that will survive every possible nuclear, holocaust kind of scenario. And it's actually dumb. It's dumb thinking that you can plan all these stuff or plan all this stuff. It's a fallacy. It's a normal thing that normal people do. Reality is you have no idea. No idea. We only make assumptions. This is the probabilistic reality that we live in. All of our plans only speak to the top of the mean, the top of the bell curve. Like there's an infinite amount of infinity. There's an infinite amount of stuff below that. Yep. You can plan to go to work. Awesome. But you could also get hit by a car. You could have a heart attack on the way. There's all these unknown variables that could happen, and you're planning to go to work. But you'll probably get to work when you make that plan. You just won't certainly get to work. That's how reality works. It's probabilistic. Yep. People just don't think about it because it's uncomfortable. Path of least resistance. People like being comfortable. Alex, are you a 16-year-old atheist? I was. I totally was. If you are, hey, high five. Like I was that guy too, and I was just baptized 2 years ago. So I was in the VA in 2014. So that's when I started talking to all these old veterans, which 100% is the reason that's what got me on this path. But I fought the whole way. Like I'm just now, 2000. What did I say? 2004. Oh yeah, holy crap! Like 10 years. Yeah, this is the first time in 10 years I would have the balls to read the Bible on a live stream. Otherwise, I never would have at any point. I'm 42. At no point in my life would I have done this. So it's new. Proof in all we see around us. You type in proof someone made you. It's a journey. It's not just like me, just like a boxing coach. I tell every one of my students to hold their arms up so they don't get punched. Guess what? Everybody gets punched. It's how it works. And actually, it's kind of the fun part. Getting your ass kicked is why it's enjoyable. I've had real supernatural experiences. So have I, dude. Yeah, and I'm saying that as a scientist. Unexplainable stuff I don't talk about. Like so supernatural. I don't tell anybody. They wouldn't believe it, or it wouldn't make sense, or it'd make me look weird. Science actually proven that nobody God is proven to be real. Uh, well, there you got to understand how measurement systems work. Proof is not provable. The glass is half full if you want it to be. It's half empty if you want it to be. The same evidence can produce both of those perceptions. What's that mean? That means that there is no such thing as a fact because it's all perception. Human beings look at the universe, right? Human beings' perception looking at the universe is a flawed act. And you can't triangulate. Just because you get a bunch of people to agree with you doesn't mean nothing. which is why our American legal system works the way it does. Facts don't matter. Maybe the glove didn't fit. So maybe we should acquit. In case you guys are too young, that was O.J. Simpson. God is playing hide and seek. No, it's you. I tell my students to hold their arms up in boxing. Nobody ever holds their. Well, I'm going to Duluth here in a little bit. Yeah, we gotta end this. Nobody holds their arms up. You gotta get your ass kicked, and then it's like, oh crap, that's why I gotta hold my arms up. It's a journey. I got my ass kicked so many times that I've come to this. Here, I gotta scan these. I gotta leave here in just like a moment because I'm going to Duluth. Can you prove a ghost is real? Oh, holy crap, there's a bunch of comments here. I'm just skipping all the way down to the end. I didn't see any of these moving, so yeah. How about this? When the video is done processing and I can see the comments, I'll come back and I'll respond to some of these specifically because I just scrolled through a whole bunch without looking at them. I don't have time. I gotta go. I get to go. Up to Duluth, we have 3 guys fighting at the Buffalo House in Duluth, Minnesota here at 5 p.m. Central. It doesn't matter which color you perceive it to be. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about there because I scrolled through all the comments, but the blue dress, white dress spiel that happened like 5-6 years ago, where some people see the girl in the blue dress, some people see it as a white dress. Well, it turns out people see the same wavelengths as different colors. Our brains perceive it at different colors. Yeah, there's no one unifying blue. There's no one unifying white. Our eyeballs are different. It's based on our genes, I assume. All right, I gotta go. Chopped. Wait, so the sky is blue? At the end of the day, serve the same purpose. Your perception doesn't define reality. So whenever we perceive something whatever we perceive something to. Oh God, your sentence structure is just as I'm struggling with it the same way I do with the Bible. All right, I gotta go, you guys. This was awesome. I'm gonna be doing this every day until I crap out. Hopefully I don't. Why? Because my Jesus is a boxing coach, and he's telling me to get in the ring, keep swinging, don't give up. Baptism with water. Okay, I gotta go. I'll make a point to come back when this is done processing and I can see all the comments, and I'll speak to these individually. So probably tomorrow. Come back to this recording tomorrow on our boxing channel. God bless you all. Stay safe. What day is it? Saturday. Hey, have a good weekend. God bless you all. Praise Jesus.